Just Jade is actually this green here. So you can see it's a little bit of a bluey grayed green. And I just want to compare it with you to some other greens. So right here we have soft seafoam. This one is Granny Apple Green. This one here is Pear Pizzazz. This green is Old Olive. They look kind of gross next to each other, really. This one is Garden Green. This is Mint Macaron. Hi, Sue. So you can see these are actually like what I call mother-daughter sort of colors. They're like the same color, just the dark and the light. And then this color is Shaded Spruce. I do know my colors. I just sometimes have to think for just a moment. So I put them in this order on purpose. So in my opinion, these greens here are kind of like, sorry, I'll pull these ones so you can't see them. These greens here, so Garden Green, Old Olive, Garden Green, Old Olive, Pear Pizzazz, Granny Apple Green, Soft Seafoam. They're like yellow greens, okay? And these greens, so we have Just Jade, Shaded Spruce, Mint Macaron, are more what I would call blue greens. And actually this soft sea foam doesn't look terrible with them, even though it definitely is more yellow. It almost looks yellow next to them. But it is quite amazing when you put that Just Jade, next to the Old Olive, how really different the greens are. I find color quite interesting, so I hope maybe you're learning a little something here and there too, because I find it quite fun to see the different colors kind of pop out of the different sorts of greens. So what I wanted to do was show you a card tonight, and I'm going to use these colors: Soft Seafoam. I feel like it's really crooked. Soft Seafoam, Shaded Spruce, Mint Macaron, and then of course the Just Jade. But I don't, as you know, I don't have the ink pads just yet. I was hoping they would turn up today, but not yet. So this card is one that one of my team members shared with me. We did a shoebox swap a few weekends ago. I think I mentioned it before. It's where we all just bring a simple project showing something new, and we just sit around and eat chocolate and teach each other and kind of make cards together. It's just kind of a fun, easy afternoon. And something that actually would be fun to do with some of you guys as well. I just thought of that now. So I liked the concept of this, but I just stepped it up a little bit. So I'm going to show you this version today, just using a few more products and adding a few more layers as well. Okay, so both versions, it's kind of like the beginner, well, actually it's not even beginner because you've got die cutting, but like I showed you in the catalog where you have version 1, version 2, version 3. So this is version probably 2, and that's version 3. All right, so let's get started. So our card base is the Just Jade, and just going to fold that in half, of course, and it's just a standard A4 piece that folds into an A5 piece. But then the matte, I chose to do a darker matte on there. I used the Shaded Spruce because they actually do marry together quite well, I think. And then I have my piece of Whisper White, and then another little piece of Whisper White for our words. So why don't I do the words first? This is actually how I assembled it, is I did the words first. Hi, Jocelyn. Well, this is definitely a card for the people who like green. This is definitely one for them. And actually, sorry, back up. I embossed it first with, of course, 3 guesses, the Tasteful Textile folder. So I have never embossed and then tried to stamp. So let's do a little experiment, see if it works. If it doesn't work, I have a spare piece, and then we'll have to just stamp and then emboss. I think it's okay. It's slightly crooked, but I think it's going to work. We're going to go with it anyway. So that I'm going to mount up onto a piece of Shaded Spruce. However, I think just from doing that, I would say stamp first and then emboss. It's just got a few tiny little gaps there, but I'm not going to worry about it too much for this. Okay, then I actually, believe it or not, after I put my twine on, so I'm grabbing that same gold thread that we've used a few times. Just gonna secure that on the back with a little bit of tear tape and just wrap it around 3 times. This little idea, I guess, of wrapping your twine around your little labels and stuff is a way to use, you know, kind of those last little pieces of twine or ribbon. As always, my scissors are all 4 pairs are somewhere else across the table. There we go. Okay, then I just took some dimensionals and I'm just putting them across the middle so that I can then tuck these little leaves underneath it fairly easily. I initially, actually, you know what, I'm going to put it on this mat first. Initially, I tried to arrange these and then put the words over, but it's actually really hard. Well, maybe it's just for me, but I found it a little bit hard to guess where they needed to go. So this is why I ended up doing it this way. The reason why I put that mat on is because I cut this so that it would be as long as the mat. And the design reason why I did that is because I've got Just Jade behind here, and this is shaded spruce. So I needed, well, I thought it looked better if that Just Jade actually met with this Just Jade. Hopefully that makes sense. That probably wasn't a very good way to explain it. And actually, I'm going to do one more thing. See, you guys aren't the only ones who say, oh wait, and then rip stuff off their cards. I want to just rough up these edges here just a little bit. Now this first one that I showed you, very clean, very simple, yeah, very clean is the word I would use. So this one's just got a little more texture to it. Neither is right, wrong, or better. It's just preference, really. And then I'm going to choose to put this down flat on my card. I'm actually second guessing myself, but because, well, that might be the end of that. Oh, not nearly. Because I have the words up on dimensionals and some of those leaves are going to go up on dimensionals, this could go down flat. Now that I'm looking at it, I think I would have probably put it up on dimensionals anyway, but still, it's not wrong. And then now, oh, you know what I totally failed to do was show you this stamp set again, the Forever Fern. And this time, now we used this on Saturday in the brown faux watercolor card, but this tonight, I'm going to bring in the dies that go with this set as well. So you have some solid dies that just coordinate with the images, and then you have these framelit dies that actually cut around these images. All of them are useful. Really excited about this stamp set. I found that when I was trying to design stuff that I just kept coming back to this one. Let me just get a few things out of the way. So what I've done is stamped. I just need to open my ink pad. I'm just going to show you the stamping. So this one I stamped in the shaded spruce, this big one. And all I've done is ink it up on my ink pad, and look at that. Can you see that? I hope you can. How gorgeous that is. All the detail. And then I have stamped in mint macaron, one leaf going one way, one leaf going another way, and I think I've done the opposite ones, but that doesn't matter really. And then I stamped that leaf in shaded spruce as well. So I've done 3 going the same direction, 2 in mint macaron, 1 in shaded spruce, and then 1 going the opposite direction in mint macaron. And then I have cut those out with the framelits, but I've already got those ready, so you don't have to hear me run away to the big shot and fade into the distance. So let me just remember how I did this. First thing I put on was this little gold piece on the back. Here, let me bring the finished one around and move those ink pads away. Now I want to show you those. So this is a pack. It comes in, it's in that same suite. So you get a full sheet of gold laser cuts. And holy cow, look at this beautiful fern here. I can see kiwis. Loving that. So you get 3 sheets of that. I realize it might look like super extra shiny under these lights. And then you get 3 sheets of these rectangular, they're kind of like card fronts, but of course they're little elements. I really like this one here. That looks really fun. Really great for your cards or scrapbooking. So we'll be using those. So what I've done here is I'm first going to just cut off one of these little gold pieces because I'm going to use that down here. And then I'm just going to tuck that in. I'm just going to take a guess about where it needs to go, about like that. And then that's going to get, this little tape is going to get totally covered. So I'm just going to slip that there. And then this piece, I'm going to just cut the little tail off because as I showed you when I was putting this piece on, there's dimensionals under there. So, I found the gap there. But anyway, if you have too long of a tail, that's going to be hidden anyway. It may not stick in very well. Then I'm just going to put a few dimensionals on the back of this one. Again, because we're going to tuck some leaves underneath it, so you want to kind of leave those edges free. Okay. And then that we'll put in about like so. Yeah, happy with that. And then we'll tuck these in. Now these ones we'll put down flat. So we'll find my glue. So that one, I might need to get my other glue. I always have 2 glues. One that I'm using up and one that's there for when that one goes. And this one I'm going to tuck it about like that. And again, it might hang off the card a little bit, and I'm totally okay with that. And then this one, it's probably too faint, but my cat is snoring, and it's so cute for you to hear it. And then this little guy, I'm going to tuck under here. And then this one, I'm just going to put on with a dimensional. Oops. And tuck him under here. And then this little tiny gold piece, if you haven't lost it, I'm just going to put the tiniest dot of glue on there. So tiny that you can't even see it. And then just tuck him under here. It just needed like a little tiny bit of gold. It looked a little top heavy when I was doing this earlier. So then this stamp set also has one of these little splatter stamps. We did use this on Saturday. So I'm just going to use that in the soft sea foam. And just splatter those. And go ahead and put it on your little stamped images too. And on your words. It splatters, so it can go everywhere. Okay, like that. And then we've got some little gems, but I'm just going to put the inside piece in, except I have lost the white piece. I wonder what I did with it. Hold, please. I didn't bring it. I didn't bring it over. So with the white piece, we're going to just do these beautiful stamps again. So we're going to stamp that big one. Holy cow, it's like so satisfying every time I stamp those. And then I'll stamp a couple of these little ones in mint macaron. So the big one is shaded spruce. And then do the little splatters in the Seaside Spray. As many as you want. Okay. Then we'll go ahead and put this onto our mat. You could emboss this piece as well, but just so you don't have to wait for me to do it, I won't. But if you want that same texture on the inside, I think it would still be totally fine to write on because it's quite a subtle texture. You can put that in as well. Then the very last thing is we want to add our little sparkles because pretty much every card has sparkle. So we have our flowers for every season gems. So these actually are part of a different suite, but they are absolutely perfect for this. And you've got little green, like green rhinestones, and then little clear epoxy drops, which would look really nice on, say, flower images for a little water dot or flower centers. And then just put your glue on the project first. And these are actually fairly big, so you could use your little take your pick tool, but they're pretty good size, so I can pick them up pretty easily with my fingers. Okay. I should not say that before I've actually done it, especially on camera. Okay, and then I'm just going to find a tiny green rhinestone and put that on. Okay, there we go. And then your very last thing is you just want to grab your envelope and put a couple of those beautiful stamps on the envelope as well. All right, ladies, I hope you enjoyed that, and welcome to Just Jade, and we'll be using this some more as well. Thanks for watching.